The mental universe, why we call things ideas. The first principle of life is this: I am or being. All human knowledge begins here. It is not a matter of proof, but of intuition. I know that I am, and if I do not know that I am, I do not know anything, for there is no one to know it. And I also know that this I am is a self. I reach this conclusion by the necessary observation that the I am which I know I am is different in many respects from others around me, so that I know that I am a self, that is, I have a life which I myself direct, and of which I myself am conscious. At the same time, I realize that, in some subtle way, this self is related to all selves, and all being, because being must be one, as we have already seen. Again, since being is all, the life that manifests everywhere must be the life of the one. I cannot get away from the fact, therefore, and I do not wish to, that each thing that I see about me is an expression of that being. A thing is the form in which spirit embodies itself as an individual entity, as we saw in the case of the tree in chapter 1. Nor can we get away from the fact that mind, since it is the substance out of which everything is made, as well as the intelligence that makes it, can assume any form of self-expression which it desires. It is probable, therefore, that I may say of the tree just as I say of myself: it is a self. There is doubtless a tree self, just as there is a man self. Finally, we may speak in general terms of the thing as an idea of spirit, since a spirit is mind, and since mind acts by thought, anything that it brings forth must be a thought creation, and therefore an idea. It is true that it will be more than what we ordinarily think of as an idea, for it acts with a definite intelligence, and it will be far more perfect language to say that the tree, for example, is God thinking the thought of tree, and then becoming the tree which he thinks. For that is the way that being expresses itself. It becomes the thing which it thinks and therefore makes. And in the case of all form and life, we find that being does not become hurriedly, but by some process of growth from within, it finally unfolds its nature along the line of the idea which it has conceived itself to be. So that the term idea is very useful in the language of the newer thought, because it expresses two aspects of each thing. First, the presence of mind within it, for mind acts by ideas or concepts, that is, by thinking. Second, definiteness of thought, for each form must necessarily have a definite thought back of it, or it will not come forth in form at all. We may think then of each thing in nature as being embodying itself in a definite idea as definite self. When we learn to look upon the world in this way, we enter into a new and different life, for we no longer see inanimate nature and the cold and colorless forms of matter, but we see and feel the vibrant presence of the spirit of life itself. Each thing is being assuming form and coming forth for expression. The flower has a voice eloquent of God. The sunset betrays its glory in brilliant colors, and the friendly stars are the lamps our Father sends to guide our feet aright. Each thing that we see, be it the reef or rock or the rippling tide, the shrilling cricket or the roaring lion, is revealed as spirit embodying itself as an idea. We live in a universe of intelligence, a mental world, wherein everything that we taste, touch, smell, see, or hear is an idea of being. And all this will show us how man may control the affairs of his life. Once he shall perceive his own relationship to the cosmic order and his own power as a self to control his ideas and those lesser intelligences by which he finds himself surrounded. We must therefore turn our attention next to a study of the close relationship between all selves and ideas.